Welcome to the Shine Your Light, Reach Your Best podcast. I'm your host, Claire Thomas. I'm on a mission to support women who feel stuck, unfulfilled and disempowered have a successful, fulfilled, soul-led life. I guide women to reawaken their unique power so they can shine their light and reach their best. This podcast is designed to support and enrich the Shine Your Light, Reach Your Best self-development coaching cards. Thank you for joining me. Now sit back, relax, and let's work out how to shine all our lights brightly. Good morning and welcome to episode 17 of the Shine Your Light podcast. Today's session is called Slowing Down to Speed Up, and you'll see that I'm in my garden. I was sitting here having my breakfast and thinking to myself that the sun just feels so lovely. Do I really want to go back into my office where it's actually quite fresh? So I thought, well, why don't I make the most of technology and film this from the garden? So yes, that's where I am. Today's theme, slowing down to speed up, that's a really big thing for me. If any of you have done the Positive Intelligence Saboteur quiz, if you haven't, I strongly suggest you do it. It's really, really insightful, and you can find a link on my website. One of my top saboteurs is restless. So the positive side of the restless saboteur is that I get things done. I can stay really focused and put a lot of attention into things and can get a lot of things produced. The problem is when I feel like I need to achieve something, or I maybe have something to prove, I take that a little bit too far. And this restlessness, this inability to sit down and rest, causes a lot of stress and fatigue and therefore anxiety, because I'm never stopping. Well, this is what the case was until a few years ago when I became aware of this behaviour. And I've learnt loads of things from really leaning into this behaviour and what it's about. And a lot of that is coupled with doing mindfulness practice as well. Mindfulness teaches us to be aware of sensations in the present moment, like right now. In that present moment, we let go of any beliefs or thought patterns, emotions we have about any past events. And we also stop worrying about what might happen in the future, because the reality is there's an infinite number of things that could happen in the future. The only moment that we can actually control is this moment, right here, right now. And when you really get that, and I know that you might be listening to that and intellectually you get it, but when you really start to practice living by being present, by being in the now. Another great book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Absolutely brilliant, really drives this message home really, really well. When we're living in that present moment, we can really focus on what's important, on the things that matter right in this moment. We're able to get in touch with our thoughts and our feelings and emotions, any sensations you may have in our body as a result of that. And we're really able to focus on the tasks that help us reach our goal. That goal could be anything. It could be a goal that you have for today. It could be a goal that you have in your personal life, in your business life, any sort of goal. And it's that about in the moment, taking small, consistent steps in the right direction. And then in a few years' time, or even a few months, I don't want to overwhelm you, you really look back and you can see how far you've come in that period of time. And that's what's really, really fascinating. I have no idea what the rest of the day holds. I've no idea what the rest of the week holds. I know I have a holiday coming up, but I don't want to live today thinking about that holiday. I want to enjoy this moment here now. But if I take myself back to how I was feeling in my peak level of restlessness, and this might be something that you can relate to, I was never, ever stopping. I put so much pressure on myself to achieve, to be a great wife, to be the best parent I could be, to prove that it's possible to run a household and have a job, and then not only to have a job, but for that job to be successful. I believed that all of these things were possible. And then if you take just one category of that, being a good parent, being a good wife, was about also looking after myself. So that was okay. So how can I make sure that I'm cooking the most healthy meals? How can I make sure that I'm using my time efficiently so that I know I'm going to be busy, so maybe I need to batch cook and put things in the freezer. So the only time I can do that is at the weekend. So then suddenly all of these good intentions that I had and that were in place are building up into just never having any time to sit and to be. And I think some of this is also societal, some of it's cultural, some of it is just the way that I was brought up with a very restless parent, and maybe some guilt or shame that if you weren't achieving and accomplishing and you were sitting down and doing nothing, that you would be called lazy. And oh my goodness, what shame that would be, to be called lazy. What a nasty word. That has like a really visceral feeling to me, that anybody would want to call me lazy. So I've always done everything I can to be not perceived as being lazy. But the reality is that when you need to be able to slow down and recharge your batteries and enjoy and appreciate this present moment. I'm saying it like it's here because it kind of is here. You need to be able to enjoy that present moment so you can recharge, so you can appreciate the beauty of love, of life around you, the beauty of this human experience that we're living. And if you keep on going and going and going, you miss all of these things. You don't notice the beauty of a flower growing over time. You don't notice the intricacies of the little petals as they grow, or the textures and the colours and the patterns. You basically are running through life like a headless chicken. And I know that I've used that analogy before because it's a really powerful one for me. And what ends up happening is you spend your whole time running through life like a headless chicken, and you don't appreciate anything. All you're thinking about is what do you need to do to make sure that the future is okay, when actually it's this moment here right now. You taking this time to listen to me talk here is giving you a moment to stop, to reflect, to recharge. What else are you doing while you're listening to me? Are you multitasking? Because every time you multitask, you're taking something away from the beauty of that moment. And that's really important. It's really important to get this message at a really deep, visceral level. There is nothing to rush for. Life is now, in this moment. And you can plan as much as you want. You can think about all the different scenarios of what might happen. You can strive to be the best you can in all areas of your life. But what happens if you're missing every single moment? What happens when you're in your 80s and you look back and you think, hang on a minute, but I didn't stop to appreciate my children growing up, my grandchildren growing up, I wasn't there. I wasn't present. I didn't see the beauty of watching them take their first steps, watching them fall, really being fully present in a hug. These are the things that we miss out on when we're not fully present and when we go too fast, because we believe that we have to keep on going and that we would be called or be perceived as being lazy if we were to stop and take some time to look after ourselves. So I urge you to have a look at your life and to see where you can slow down a bit, where you can take some just small, very small, it could just be a couple of breaths. How long does that take? 10 seconds. How long does it take to stand and put your feet on the ground and feel your weight on the ground? Really no time at all. But that's what it's like to be present, to be in this moment and to enjoy and value and appreciate the love and the beauty of this moment, the miracle that it is to be here today. All of the little events that have had to happen in the past to lead up to you being here right now in this moment. So which areas of your life can you look into now and slow down a bit? And when you slow down a bit, which activities can you choose to do because you know they are heading you in the direction that you want to go in your life? And what can you let go of? And the things that you aren't letting go of, maybe spend some time thinking about what it is you're holding on to. What are you attached to? Are you attached to being the best parent? And that attachment to being the best parent is what is having you plan the most nutritious meals, cook them in advance, have them in the freezer. So you can just say, that's what you've been able to do. Or can you let go of some of that perfectionism of being the most perfect parent and choose something that is quick, simple, and nutritious to do? And can you be kind to yourself in that moment when you make those choices? Can you give yourself a genuine, heartfelt hug to really get that you're looking after yourself in the moment? You have nothing to prove to anybody else. Only you know how you feel. So honour that, respect it, enjoy life, enjoy the moment. So I'm going to leave that there. That's probably enough rambling from me for today. Look at that use of word rambling. It's not necessarily a positive word, but I'm just speaking from my heart. I'm just saying what comes to me in this moment. And I think I've just about covered that point. I'd love to hear what your thoughts and reflections are, which areas you can maybe slow down a little bit, and what you've noticed when you do slow down about your ability to speed up, because that's definitely true as well. I haven't covered it too much in this episode, but for sure, when you slow down, you're way more efficient. Superwoman, here we come. So thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again another time. Have a wonderful week and sending you lots of love and light. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Shine Your Light, Reach Your Best podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, so please follow the show. I'd love you to like, comment and share this episode with anyone else whose light needs some help shining. I'd love to hear from you, and I'm open to having guests on my podcast. So if you would like to share your story, please send me an email to claire@reachingmybest.com or click on the link in the show notes. So for now, keep shining and reaching for your best.